All right, thank you so much, Frank. This is a sign that Election Day is almost upon us. Guess what? Advanced polling stations open up today across the country. So here's what you need to know. Advanced polls will be open starting today through Monday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. You must vote at your assigned polling station, which would be listed on that voter information card, or you can also go online to check that out. You have to bring ID. You are strongly encouraged to wear a mask. If you'd like, you can bring your own pencil to mark the ballot, but they will be having ones for you at the site as well. We're going to give you a full breakdown. We're going live inside a polling station as well. And a reminder, if you choose a mail-in ballot option, the application deadline for it is Tuesday. Of course, you can also vote on Election Day, which is September 20th. Now, maybe you watched the debate last night and that made up your mind. Maybe it didn't. 5 major party leaders tackling topics like Indigenous reconciliation, climate change, foreign policy, and the pandemic. It was the only English language debate on the campaign trail. Here's City News reporter Xiaoli Li with some of the highlights.
It doesn't get any higher stakes than this as federal leaders pitch competing visions of Canada's future in this, the only English language leaders debate of the federal election.
You've let the Michaels down, and we have to get serious with China.
If you want to let the Michaels and get the Michaels home, you do not simply lob tomatoes across the Pacific.
Liberal and conservative leaders locked horns first over the issue of how Canada ought to deal with China on the world stage. Erin O'Toole has repeatedly stated that Canada must get tough on China, but Justin Trudeau says being belligerent will achieve nothing. However, the Bloc Québécois leader was blunt, saying Canada is arguing from a position of hypocrisy internationally.
Throwing tomatoes might not be the solution, but I would submit humbly that doing nothing might not be the solution either.
Justin Trudeau was not able to find much room to maneuver on the night. During a question on protecting Indigenous women and girls, the NDP leader blasted Trudeau for making gestures but not taking action.
You can't take a knee one day if you're going to take Indigenous kids to court the next. That's not leadership.
Mr. Singh,
that's
you
not going to
love
make things
that
better.
line about taking Indigenous kids to court.
You
It's
are.
actually not true. We have
Trudeau,
committed to compensating those kids who went through that.
Listen,
and what's
seriously,
more
you can't
than
say
that,
that.
this is important, Mr.
No, you
Singh.
can't say you're not taking them to court when you're taking them to court.
This was the national English language debate debut for Green leader Annamie Paul. Paul held her own against more experienced federal leaders and underlined the need for the federal government to be consistent in how it talks and acts when it comes to reconciliation.
It seems all too often that reconciliation is treated like a buffet. You can opt in for this, pick this plate, but not the other one.
In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.
All right, so what did you get out of all of that? We're going to break things down a little bit further. Coming up at 7:30, Sid and I will be joined by a panel of experts. We'll break down more moments from the debate and to see where things are going with 10 days left. Meantime, the leaders are back on the campaign trail. They have announcements right across the province. Liberal leader Justin Trudeau will be in Hamilton this morning with an announcement at 10:30. Conservative leader Erin O'Toole also in Southern Ontario, first in Mississauga with an announcement before heading an event with supporters in the evening in Whitby. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh in Ottawa this morning before traveling to BC to vote in advance polls this afternoon. And then he will head to a team rally in the evening. As for Green leader Annamie Paul in Ottawa today, hosting a news conference on the party's platform, and that is with candidates from both Ottawa and Quebec. So, of course, we'll be watching all of that, citynews.ca for more details. Now, if you didn't tune into the debate last night, you were probably watching something else. U.S. Open. Canada got another taste of success on the tennis court. Of course, we're talking about teen sensation Leylah Fernandez. Spoiler alert, advancing to the women's singles final after she fought off a strong start from the second-seeded Ariana Sabalenka of Belarus to win in 3 sets. Fernandez has knocked off seasoned pros to make tomorrow's final, where she's going to be facing Britain's Emma Raducanu. I apologize if I am just not saying that correctly. I got to ask Sid, another young star. Meanwhile, Felix Auger-Aliassime of Montreal faces off in the men's semifinals this afternoon. We're going to bring you more on Leylah. She is phenomenal. All right, time now is 6:07. Let's get to COVID-19 now, where hospital workers from across the province planning a rally in Toronto today against rollbacks on wages and workplace rights as contract negotiations continue. We're going to bring you a live look outside the province's hospital association, and this is where nurses, personal support workers, and other frontline staff, they're going to be gathering here at the noon hour, sending a clear message to both their hospitals and the province. They say they feel devalued and betrayed after the past 18 months and will not accept cuts to wages and working conditions. Nearly 70,000 hospital workers are waiting for a new contract. Well, tomorrow will mark 20 years since the world watched in horror as America devastated by terrorist attacks. And ahead of this somber anniversary, memorials will be held right across the U.S. President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden will be visiting the three sites where the attacks happened: the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and the field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where one of the planes crashed. Vice President Kamala Harris will also visit Shanksville before meeting with the president at the Pentagon. Nearly 3,000 people killed that day. And the names of the lives lost will be read today. A live look at the Freedom Tower in New York, where a memorial service will be happening this morning. A moment of silence also observed at 8:46 a.m., marking the time when the first plane hit the North Tower of the World Trade Center. Now, coming up here at 6:17, so in about 5 or so minutes, we'll be joining CityNews reporter Faiza Amin. She'll be talking about the 9/11 anniversary, an installation here in Toronto at Harbourfront Centre that she will be checking out in the 7 o'clock hour. At 8:40 this morning, speaking to a 9/11 survivor who was in one of those towers as the second plane hit. A lot to discuss here. It is a big show, but we're going to take a very quick break here. It is 6:09 right now. Mike Epple, indeed, watching the debate last night, or at least the highlights, because he had to get to bed. But one of the topics, cost of living for Canadians. So what did he get out of this debate? We'll chat with him next.